Hello, my name is Sarah Price. I'm a family support practitioner with St. Nicholas Hospice, and I'm here today to talk to you a little more about compassion fatigue. In an earlier compassion fatigue video, we talked about what it is, how to define it, and some of the costs to key workers as well as to the organization. This video is going to be about warning signs and symptoms, and most importantly, self-care for compassion fatigue. So let's start with warning signs and symptoms. They're grouped into 4 different categories, generally speaking. It's not an exhaustive list of symptoms. Certainly, there are many, many more. And I don't mean to imply that with the 4 categories that someone would suffer symptoms from just one category. They can have them in many categories across the board. But oftentimes, you'll find that most of your symptoms are in one of the categories. So we'll start with physical categories of warning signs for symptoms. Physical would be headaches, digestive problems, muscle tension, and fatigue. Emotional warning signs and symptoms would be sadness, grief, inability to feel empathy, feelings of dread. Behavioral warning signs would be addiction, overusing sick days, disturbances in relationships, shifts in sleeping. And finally, cognitive, which could be nightmares, inability to concentrate, shifts in beliefs, or avoidance of situations. And again, this is not meant to be an exhaustive list, but just to kind of funnel your thoughts into one of those categories if they show to be predominant. So then we look at possible self-care ideas, which is much more difficult during this time of coronavirus. And they are in categories as well. So physical categories for some self-care ideas are nutritional eating, exercise and working out as best you can, which may be in the back garden or at home, or the hour a day that we're allotted, but also trying to create a calming place to go to. So if you're at home with a family and you need some alone time, finding that place, whether it's in the bath, in the bedroom, creating bedtime routines and sticking with them, going to bed at the same time, reading if that's what you do, or exercising before you go to bed. But a routine will help you sleep better at night. Finding physical activities that you enjoy, which in this day and age may be jumping rope or hula hooping or dancing, and taking time away from work to concentrate on things that relax you. One recommendation would be to go visit family and friends, which of course is not possible, but through the magic of Zoom, as we're doing now, FaceTime, Skype, WhatsApp, you can reach out and see people and get that physical sense of support. The next general area of self-care ideas is psychological, which is, like example, working with a counselor, a therapist, which is still possible now with video conferencing or teleconferencing. And there are also lots of apps that are now available for mental health services. Journaling about your days, try to leave the bad days on the page. Think about the positives at your work. Confide in a friend or colleague. And just whatever you can to decrease stressful situations in your personal life. The next category would be emotional self-care ideas. Spending time with people you love, if you can, via phone or video conferencing if you can't be with them physically. Create a list of self-affirmations. Make sure to try to laugh and cry. Don't hold emotions in. Find an enjoyable activity if you can. The internet is full of recommendations for enjoyable activities at this time. Keep a running list of moments that made you feel strong. We call it positive self-talk. Remind yourself of what is going well. And not to leave out spiritual self-help ideas, which could be religious-based or faith-based, or not. Listen to or watch inspiring music or programming. Spend time in nature. Create lists of things that give you faith and hope. Post inspirational notes in your personal space. And take part in a religious service if you desire. And since we're talking about work-related stress, we need to address the professional side of it as well. So professional self-care ideas are to alter shift patterns if you can, take plenty of breaks if you can, create a peer support group. I know at St. Nicholas Hospice, we have a lot going on through the Facebook workplace app and virtual coffee cafes. Those sorts of things can be very helpful to people and their peers. And ask your mentor supervisor if they're available for some reflective practice, for some supervision. Finally, we have relational, to cut out any toxic relationships if you can. Identify individuals at work who can check in on you. Spend ample time with trusted friends and family. Seek support from your partner or spouse. Maintain boundaries with patients and coworkers. And again, this is not an exhaustive list. And if you have some other ideas for me to add to that list, I'd love to hear from you. Thank you.